This is going to be fun. Whoops. All right. This is going to be fun. Remember what we talked about when we were talking about avatars and how to figure out what our avatar for our club is? One of the fun things that we can do when you're working with a club and they have no idea what their avatar is to find out what their personal avatar is. And to do that, we play a game. Now, the reason that we play a game is because if you make it fun, then they're going to be more likely to participate. Okay, so one of the things that you're going to need to have is pen and paper or a Word document open. All right, okay, don't be like me. I had my pen and paper, and then I spilled water all over it, and it ran all over my keyboard, all over the floor, all over my leg. So I'm going to do it here. All right. The idea behind this game that we're going to play is that it brings up people to mind. When you say, hey, who can you invite to our meeting? 9 times out of 10, people will get a complete blank. Ah, she's coming back in. Hello, Mark. She's been having to call her 98-year-old mom to see if she's okay.
There she is.
Welcome back. Anyway, so we are playing the game in order to bring more specificity to how we think. If you say, okay, think about balloons, and then every type of balloon pops into your head: hot air balloons, helium balloons, balloon animals, all shapes, colors, and everything. You can go, too many. Okay, but you say, think of a red balloon. Boom! All kinds of red balloons pop into your head immediately. It says, think of a car. Oh, what car? What car? And then you say, think of your car. And then immediately you have a picture. You do the same thing with your clubs in order to get clarity on who would be a good target market. Okay? Because once you have that target market, it's really, really easy to get invitations out and think of people that fit that market. But once again, you say, okay, who's your club avatar? They're going, or they may come to a wrong conclusion. Okay, so we're looking for guys over 70. And how they look and what kind of silly table topics things they come up with and what horrible jokes they tell. And then you say, do we really want more people like that in our group? And so they say, well, okay, anybody that can fog a mirror, come, and you will get all the things that are going to solve your problems. Well, we know that doesn't work either, because it's sort of like a snake oil salesman. You remember those where they would hold up this snake oil? Well, it turns out they were getting this oil from I guess Asian snakes. And if you rubbed it on your head, it grew hair. If you rubbed it on your chest, it grew hair. If you rubbed it on your face, it softened your skin. Why doesn't it grow hair on your skin there? Okay, there is no reason for that whatsoever. You know, you put this snake oil on your elbow, gets rid of arthritis. Why doesn't it grow hair on your elbow then? And it makes you attractive to the opposite sex. So if you grow hair on your face or your elbow, I think you might attract a Wookiee. But it solved every problem that there was. You know, they had these people come up missing hands and walking on crutches and blind in one eye and everything. And they would take a drink of that stuff, throw away the crutches, throw away the eye patch, and jump around and dance. And that's what sold this stuff, is everybody believed what they were selling. Well, we see these types of things in stem cell research, where this is, ta-da, this is the answer to every problem. Or if you have this little pill every morning, you will lose 500 pounds, in just like that. If you, that's what I'm thinking. And then if you do this one exercise, you will have abs of steel and you'll look like Dwayne Johnson. And I'm thinking, oh, well, okay, fine. But see, it's the instant fix that they're looking for. And so the people that you have that will take it won't take it for very long, because if they don't see results, then they realize they've been duped. And now the people are so aware of this that they say, oh, solves all the problems in the world. Yeah, I've got a bridge I could sell you. See, so when we are appealing to people, we cannot be the everything fix that we know we are. We know that we can help a person get over their stuttering. We can help them become cool when they're standing behind the lectern instead of shaking it to pieces. Stop knee knocking or sweating like crazy, forgetting their words. Then they get to the leadership positions and they don't know how to get a conference done, or they don't know how to arrange for a party for the organization they're in. They don't know how to do that, but we teach them that. And if we told everybody that we do this and 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 this, they say, well, I don't need to do all of those things. All I need to do is this one thing. And if I can get that one thing done, I would be golden. And then they stick around because they said, if I could get those two things done, I would be go. Oh, if I could get those three things. Oh, is there another path? Oh, cool. If I could get, oh, see, we get them into the meeting. They find what they need and they stay for the people and find what they want. And there are all sorts of side benefits to being in Toastmasters. We know that. But if you tell people that, they won't believe it. So we play a game with our people. You say, I'll bet you don't know what your avatar is. And they go, oh, what? Oh, do I have an avatar? You do. So we ask this, and it's called, shall we play a game? I don't know if anybody remembers, oh, what was that, War Games? And the computer says that. All right. So it's divided into 3 parts. The first part is, who are the best blank you know? And then the second part is, do you know someone that is blank? And then the third one is, do you know, no, who do you know that blank? And you fill in the blanks on there. Okay, so you ask them, first of all, who are the best blank you know? So if you will, please write down who are the best teachers you know. Now, the names have to be local. They have to be people that you know personally. So I'll give you 30 seconds and write down the names of the best teachers you know. Okay, there's 30 seconds. How many did you get? Don't all answer at once. One? Okay. All right.
Yeah, I only got one as well.
You only got one? Okay. How many did you get? Mark got one.
Oh, Mark got 0.
Mark got two. Okay. Fagan got one. All right. Okay.
It took me 25 seconds to get Word open.
Okay. All right. One
Great
teacher.
improvements there.
All right. Next question. Who are the best administrators you know? The best administrators you know.
Okay, define your, when you say administrators.
I don't care.
Okay.
All right. Okay. How many administrators did you come up with? 2 for
This
Cynthia.
is, yeah, I only got 3, but it's just showing what a sheltered life I lead because those 3 are all Toastmasters.
Okay. Vicky got 3. How many did Fagan get? 1. Okay. Marg, how many did you get? 1. All right. Okay. Now, who are the best school staff members? We're talking secretary, janitors, receptionists, things like that. Okay. All right. Now, this was kind of hard because a lot of people don't know the names. I knew Cletus and George, who were janitors at the high school, and Mary. Everybody else called her Fat Mary, but Mary, who was the lunch lady. I knew 3. Okay. Cynthia, how many did you get?
School staff. I just remember one, but I can't, I see her face, but I can't remember her name.
I know how that is. Okay, Vicky.
Well, my husband's the janitor at the school, and I wouldn't put him down as one.
You know him personally, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Is he local?
Not an option for Toastmasters, though, I don't think.
Okay, Marg, how many did you come up with?
2.
2. Very good. Okay, Fagan.
I came up with 2. Couldn't remember the name of one of them.
Okay. All right.
But it's been a long time since I spent much time in school.
That's true.
25 years.
Okay, this one will be interesting. Who are the best lawyers you know? That you know. You got to know them. You can't just. Did you get them written down? Oh, write them down anyway. Okay. So Cynthia's got 7 lawyers. Wow. All right. Vicky, how many did you come up with?
I'm a wig maker, so I look after their wigs. I know a few.
See, we don't have that problem here. They never wear anything. Okay. Oh, no, they never wear any wigs. Mark, how many did you come up with?
2.
2? Okay. Fagan?
I came up with 2. One, and I couldn't remember precisely either name. One I was on a rescue squad with many years ago. And the other one I sang in a choir with not quite too many years ago.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Having nothing to do with being lawyers.
Right. But you never know where you're going to meet them, do you? Okay.
Nope.
So, next one. Who are the best IT professionals you know?
Hey there. We sent you.
Wasn't me this time. Okay. All right. How many did you come up with, Cynthia? 1? Okay. Vicky?
I don't know any.
Don't know any. Okay. All right. Marg?
I'm from IT, so I have way more than I can even number.
That's all right. How many did you come up with?
5 right off the
5 off the top of your head. All right. Okay. Fagan?
I didn't even try because I work for an IT company. I'm in a club that's based around IT people, Toastmasters Club, and several of our district officers are
So
also in IT. So
642.
I could have, given enough time, I could have come up with quite a few.
Okay. All right. Okay. Who are the best coaches you know? And you have to know them personally. They have to be local. So none of the Cincinnati Bengals or the Rams or
Oh,
Chiefs. Okay, Cynthia, how many? 1? Okay. Vicky?
Just one.
Just 1? Okay. Mark?
1.
Okay. Fagan?
I came up with one name, although I haven't seen him for 25 years.
Who's
He
that?
coached,
Who?
Coach Shea from
Oh,
Peru.
yeah. Yeah.
Coached in the national championship, Division 3.
Cool. Okay. All right. So you see how this goes? All right. Now, all of these names, have you asked any of them to join Toastmasters? Hmm.
No.
Hmm. Okay. All right. So the next game is do you know someone that is? Okay, do you know someone that is shy? Put their name down. Someone that is shy. I keep thinking of that thing in Once Upon a Mattress where she sings, "I'm shy."
Swam the moat.
Yep. Okay. How many did you come up with, Cynthia? 3. Okay. Vicky?
2.
2. Marg?
Just 1.
Fagan?
I came up with 2 with barely leaving our household. But one of whom is in Toastmasters. But I also, as I say, I work in IT. I've done a lot of work with programmers. I literally knew a couple of them who would look at your shoes, and that was being out, out. They were
Extroverted.
extroverted.
There you go.
They-
All right.
We had I think the last I knew he was working for Google out of Council Bluffs, but he was brilliant, but he couldn't look in. He didn't like to look people in the eye when he was talking.
Okay.
Extreme shyness.
Extreme shy.
Don't
Okay.
remember his name.
What's your name?
He knew his stuff, but he did not like to talk in groups.
Okay. All right. Who do you know that, in fact, who's the first person that comes to mind when you think of someone that is polite? Who is polite? Okay. How many did you come up with, Cynthia? 2? All right. Vicky?
Just one.
Just 1? Marg? 1? Okay. Fagan?
I was in a gift shop at the cathedral in Glasgow buying something. I gave the person behind the counter money, and she thanked me. About
Now, come on. That's not Glasgow. That is not local. And you
I
don't
can't
even
think of
have a
any.
name.
I cannot think of anybody local.
Oh, all right. Okay.
Is that's so much different than politeness. If they don't hit you when you give them money, that's polite.
Besides, we are on Zoom.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Do you know someone that is resilient? They're resilient. That does not mean that they bounce. Okay. How many did you come up with, Cynthia? 2? All right. And Vicky?
Just one.
Okay. And Mark
1.
and Fagan?
Oh, I wrote down 2 names, both in my family.
But they're not local.
Yes, they are.
Oh.
Well, one of them's not. She lives out west,
Okay.
but I knew a lot of people, because most of the people I know through Toastmasters are very resilient people.
Yeah. But you don't recruit those to Toastmasters.
No, that wouldn't help
I didn't
us.
specify that. All right. Okay. All right.
It's too late to recruit you either.
Yeah. Oh. Ooh, what is Toastmasters? Is that good? Okay. Who do you know that is good at reading people? Do you know someone that is good at reading people? No drumming.
It's better than keyboard clicking.
Okay. All right. How many did you come up with, Cynthia? None? I'm shocked. I thought you knew a whole lot of people like Evelyn. You have to unmute so I can hear what you're saying.
You're supposed to read my lips.
I
Anyway, what I was saying was that I was trying to think of people that are not already in Toastmasters.
yeah. Okay, so
So-
do you suppose people like Evelyn and that people that Evelyn likes would be good at reading people?
Some of them.
Yeah. So she would be a good first source. And you get to the secondary source, you ask Evelyn, who do you know that is like you and good at reading people? See, so now we're getting into the second layer. Ha 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 ha. Okay. All right. Next question. Do you know someone that is motivational? Do you know someone that is motivational? Who do you call when you're feeling low? Okay. Cynthia, how many did you get?
2.
2? All right. How many did you get, Vicky?
Yeah, I just put down 1 because, like Cynthia said, most of the people I know are Toastmasters, and this is just really showing up my friendship base.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, Mark.
2.
2. Fagan?
I've met or seen a lot of people who are motivational. I'm not sure that I know them.
Ah.
The good ones that I know are Toastmasters.
That's
That's
true. Okay.
2 sides of my life.
Yep.
One is at work, one is at Toastmasters.
One is Toastmasters and one isn't. Okay. All right. Do you know someone that is a really good listener? Someone that is a really good listener. Okay. Cynthia, how many?
1.5.
You only have 1 ear?
No, I put her down even though she doesn't live here.
Ah,
Because she's a very good listener.
okay. Well, hey, in the year or soon, maybe we can contact them anyway, Okay. Vicky,
Yeah, again, it's just Toastmasters.
just Toastmasters, right?
Yeah, I don't have, yeah, anyway, yeah, it's just Toastmasters.
Okay. Marg,
2.
2. Okay. Very good.
Sorry, I had to get some water to avoid coughing. I did not. This was good listener. I didn't have a chance to answer it. Sorry.
Okay. All right. So you're getting the idea behind this one? All of these people we know are already in Toastmasters. The shy people, the polite people, the resilient people, the reading people, and because you learn how to read body language, don't you? Yep, that's in there. Motivational people, good listeners. All right. Can these apply to people outside of in our workplaces, in our communities? Where would you look for those types of people? Who do you think is the motivational people, the motivational person that people see the most?
What church?
Yeah, exactly. You may have some special speakers, some lay leaders, a preacher, an assistant preacher, a youth leader. We had one guy who worked with the kids, and he wasn't more than 2 or 3 years older than the oldest one of them. And he'd been in the youth group for years, and he just kept on in the position of, instead of being one of the kids, being one of the sponsors for their activities. And he was able to talk to these kids in a way that I just sat in awe. I kind of hid behind the door and looked, but no. Oh, that's interesting. I wasn't stalking at all. No. But he was very, very good motivational speaker, and he could tell when there was something wrong with the kids. But they just walked in, they didn't have to say anything. He could tell. And super polite. And then he moved out of the area. Anyway, okay. So that kind of thing will help you look for those qualities in people all around you. Okay. It's raising your awareness so that you recognize things when they come into view. So, like, for instance, if I told you not to think about a blue car, what's the first thing that pops into your head? Oh, blue car. And when you drive to work, I'll bet you would find almost every 5th car is going to be blue. What happened? Everybody went out and got blue cars. There were no blue cars yesterday. Same blue cars as there were the day before. Oh, yeah. Well, now we're aware of them. Or if you pay attention to what dogs are barking at 7:30 in the freaking morning. Okay. And you don't pay any attention to that until you think about that. And then every morning at 7:30, you say, I don't need an alarm clock because the dogs are going off. In fact, we had this one thing, they had a noon whistle, a 7 o'clock whistle, and a 5 o'clock whistle. Oh, and a 1 o'clock whistle. So it went 7, noon, 1, and 5. It was a little bitty town, 300 people in there. They had a greyhound farm of 150 greyhounds and 100 in the other greyhound farm. And every time those whistles went off, the dogs went nuts. We didn't even hear the whistles anymore. We heard the dogs. So that's, you get to the point where you are aware of all of these things, and you look at them and say, I know someone like that in Toastmasters. I'll bet they would have a great connection. Oh, I know someone that is just like Evelyn, who is really good at reading people. I'll bet they'd get along great. I know one who is just like Randy, who is really quick thinking, and they would get along great. See what I mean? All right. Okay. Then you say, who do you know that is fearful? What can Toastmasters offer that would help someone that is fearful? Yay, Mary's here. Fagin, you're outnumbered.
It's not unusual. It happens every day. Tom Jones.
It's in my head
Okay.
now.
Mary, we're playing a game. The question is, who do you know that is fearful? And how many names did you come up with, Cynthia? 1? Okay. And Vicky?
Just one.
Just 1? And Marg?
1.
Okay, Fagan?
Well, that was me 12 years ago.
Okay, 12 years ago.
13 years ago, 2009.
2009. You'll have to tell me about that time.
You're the one that dragged me kicking and screaming out of it. Took me to a
Oh,
Toastmasters meeting.
yeah. You want to come to a Toastmasters meeting with me? What do I have to do? I said, carry my horns. Oh, okay, I can do that. I was evil. Anyway, okay. Now, when we are talking about do you know someone that is, you fill in the blank with whatever you want. Something that describes the character of the person. Okay, so the first one, we were talking about the occupations. Okay, teachers, administrators, builders, bartenders, musicians, cops, whatever. Second one is characteristics, patient, creative, helpful, organized, curious, quick thinking, brave, smiley, innovative, ambitious. You see how that? Okay. Next category. Okay. Who do you know for 200? No, wait a minute. Okay. All right. Here we go. Who do you know that plays Dungeons and Dragons?
Toastmasters.
We played it with graph paper and dice. No, they look back and they say, how?
Now, if you had said spades, I would have been okay.
Okay. All right. So, did you come up with any names, Cynthia? Nope. How about you, Vicky?
Nope.
Nope. Mary?
Yes, I have a couple of friends who are into Dungeons and Dragons.
There you go. Okay. Mark, how many did you come up with?
9.
Okay. Fagan?
I don't know if it's still true. I came up with you, me, two of our kids all used to play. I don't know if any of us.
Yeah,
still
don't
do.
forget Jeremy.
Yeah, Jeremy, one of Sean's friends.
Mhm.
And this would be one where you might want to, instead of specifically Dungeons and Dragons, role-playing games. Or
Oh, no, that's later. Who plays live action role playing games?
oh, you've got that one. Okay.
Yeah, I do. Okay. All right. Next question. Who do you know besides yourself that plays solitaire or card games? Who do you know that plays card games?
They too many to count.
Okay. How many did you get, Cynthia?
2.
2. Okay. Vicky, how many did you get?
None.
Nobody plays card games, not even Uno? Okay. All right.
Only my grandchildren. Play Uno, maybe.
Yeah. Cool. Right. Yeah. All right. And Mary, how many did you come up with?
Too many to count.
You made it count, right?
And count everybody in my family and my friends. We all play card games.
Cool. All right. Marg,
5.
5. Okay. Fagan?
Outside of immediate family and including brothers, sisters, parents, etc. I came up with one immediately, which is Randy,
Ah, yep.
but he's already a Toastmaster.
Yes, he is. In fact, he's a former international director.
I guess I could have mentioned his wife too, but she's doesn't want to join.
Well, she plays mahjong too.
He
So
also does mahjong, yes.
okay, all right. Who do you know that loves baseball? Who do you know that loves baseball? Baseball be very, very good to me. Some of the people may be the ones that have their kids in baseball and never miss a game. Okay, all right. How many did you come up with, Cynthia? None. America's pastime.
Yeah, football.
Okay, Vicky.
Stop.
I changed it from baseball because I don't know anyone. I changed it to swimming and I've got lots.
Swimming. All right, that's good. That's good. Okay, lots. All right. Okay, Mary. You're muted, dear.
She's stumped.
Uh, at least 20 career. I mean, everybody plays baseball, softball, in my family.
Cool. Excellent. Okay. Marg?
No one. I know no
Nobody.
one who.
Okay, Fagan?
I came up with a couple in general. Pat's, Joe, and Frank.
Mhm.
If I gave it some thought, I grew up 100 miles outside of Minneapolis back when the Twins were the king of the West, and there were a lot of baseball fans there at the time. And if I really thought about it, I could probably think of classmates, but I'm not sure it would do any good for this.
All right. Okay. Next one. Who do you know that is a Boy or Girl Scout leader? Who do you know that is a Boy or Girl Scout leader? Okay. Cynthia.
3.
3.
2 of them, I can't remember their names, but I'm sure that I can find them.
Okay, Vicky.
Just one.
Just one. Okay, Mary.
None.
None. Okay, Mark.
None.
None. Fagan.
I thought of two immediately. One's our program quality director. The other one's president of one of the clubs I'm in. So I don't think they'd either one would be good candidates.
Okay. All right. Who do you know that loves concerts? Who do you know that loves concerts? Okay. Cynthia, how many did you get?
3.
Hmm?
3.
3. Okay. All right. Vicky.
2.
2. Mary? 4.
4.
Mark?
5.
5. Fagan?
Too many to count. Now, for those of you who aren't Rebecca, we both come from somewhat musical families, and all our kids are really enjoy music, go to concerts. Their kids go to concerts. We've got Becky's got a brother who's a professional French horn player. One of our kids was in the army band.
She married a musician too.
And she married another member of the band. I know a lot of good amateur musicians who I presume like to go to concerts, and I know other people who like to go to concerts.
All right. Okay. Last one. Who do you know that loves to garden? Who do you know that loves to garden? Okay. How many did you come up with, Cynthia?
The people that I kept coming up with were Toastmasters already.
Yeah.
And I don't have a green thumb.
I have a brown thumb. Okay, Vicky, how many did you come up with?
I came up with 2 that time.
That's good. Okay. All right. Mary, how many did you come up with?
Well, the only one that's not a Toastmaster.
Cool. All right. Mark?
5. You're
5.
not saying it has to, yeah, not saying it can't be an illegal substance, right?
Right.
But that's legal
Fine.
where I'm from. I know a lot of those.
Define gardening.
Yes.
Okay, Fagan.
Okay, I think I came up with 2. One is a Toastmaster, and one is one of your former roommates who lives in Minnesota.
Oh, yeah. Well, you missed the one that put in our flower beds in the front.
I don't really know her, but
Yeah. Okay.
she did a nice job.
She did. She did. She's in charge of
Did a really good
Papillion.
job.
She's in charge of the Papillion green space. So she's
Ah,
very, very busy. Anyway, okay. So what do we do with this information? How do you approach people like that? How do you approach people like that? Well, okay, let me illuminate you. Okay. That's not what I wanted to see. Try again. Hold on. New share. That's what I wanted to show. Oh, that's what I want to show. All right. Okay. Can you
that's right.
see this? You stupid thing. Come over here where I can see. All right. Can you see this? I'm going to get rid of all the rest of this stuff because it's driving me crazy. All right. Okay. So if you take a look at this, we're saying, all right, for the, who's the best, blah, 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 that you know, who's the best teacher? Let's just start with that because that's the first thing that I can think of. We're running a little study in our group, and when they asked who's the best teacher, you know, your name came up. May I ask you a couple of questions? And they say, no, I don't know you. I hate you. Go away. Then you go on to the next person. Okay. Well, what is the one thing that you love best about being a teacher? And then they answer. Okay. What is the one thing you wish you could improve in communication or leading as a teacher? Something to think about. Give them plenty of time to answer. Don't just jump in. Now, they will tell you the thing that they love about being the teacher. Oh, it's the kids. Oh, it's just all the activities that we get to see. Oh, it's just seeing that light in their eyes that comes on when the recess bell rings. What is the one thing you wish you could improve in communicating or leading? Then they have to think harder on that. What could you improve and communicate? Well, I'd like to get some better communication with our administration or our school board or our parents or whatever. Or in the leading, I wish there was a way that we could make sure that the administration actually comes through with the things that they're promising, you know? So they're looking as a way to learn how to lead or learn how to communicate better. All right, then you ask, if there was a way you could improve that one thing, what effect would that make in what you do? Well, if I could communicate better with the principal, then maybe he wouldn't stand outside my door taking notes. Unless, of course, you were saying, oh, she's amazing at this. I should have known. This is the thing that we need to tell everybody about. They never do that. Okay. If I could introduce you to my group and they could show you how to make these changes, is there any reason you wouldn't want to at least check it out? Now, the first answer that most people want to give is no. No. They just answered yes. See, is there any reason you wouldn't want to at least check it out? Well, no. Our meeting is da 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 da. Right. I'd like to introduce you to the group on da 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 da. Oh, we have a special program coming up on how to talk with principals. Would you be interested in that? Oh, so you speak principalese? Oh! See, what you're trying to do is you're trying to hit that one area that they think if they could fix it, everything would be all right. Or it would be closer to all right. Because you can't fix something that they don't know needs fixing. And we can't fix anything if we don't know what they think needs fixing. Does that make any sense? Okay. All right. Now let's take a look at, do you know someone? We're running a little study in our group. Okay. Why are we running a study? Because we want to get some good information. What kind of things do people look for in communication and leadership? We need to know this. And this is where we're going to get our answers, by asking people. So once you've got your little avatar for your club figured out, and you've got your personal avatar figured out, then you know why you attract the people around you that you do. And once you've got that figured out, then you can go and intentionally talk to more people like that. Okay? Because you already know how to talk to those people. And they already know you. And they're not having to guess like, hi, can you fog this mirror? They don't know who you are. And with the fog the mirror thing, the 3-foot rule is not a good way to build up membership. Okay? All right. So, do you know someone? Okay, we're running a little study in our group, and I was hoping you could help me. May I ask a couple of questions? Always ask first. Okay. How would you characterize yourself? I'm shy. Okay. Does that serve you well? I'm polite. I'm smart. I'm fast. I work hard. Does that serve you well? If you could change one thing about the way you relate to people, what would that be? Ha ha ha. Doesn't that make a difference in how successful they are in life, is how they relate to people? It's that emotional type of bond that you get when you look at the characteristics of people. So if you know someone that is polite, then you can understand how well they get along with the people that are in their lives. If you know someone that is strong, does he relate better with other strong people, or does he relate well with weaker people? Does he serve as the guardian or part of the army? Okay, so you have to look at that. Does it serve you well? Okay, and if you change the way you relate to people, then you are looking to enhance the way you relate and make sure that they understand what's going on and you understand them. So you're trying to build a bigger rapport with them. All right. If there was a way you could change that one thing, what effect would that have? Well, okay, if I was strong person and I went with weaker people, maybe I could show them how to be stronger. Maybe I could give them the courage and the empowerment that they need to become better people. Or if I was a strong person and I hung around strong people, I might be able to become stronger myself. And I would be able to face such and such and such and such better than I do now. Although I'm stronger than all the weak people I hang around. See how that is? So big fish, little pond, little fish, big pond. Okay. All right. If I could introduce you to my group and they could show you how to make these changes, is there any reason you wouldn't at least check it out? Oh, does that sound familiar? So then you tell them we're getting together on blah, 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 blah. And you give them the information and say, it used to be, can I pick you up at dot, 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 dot? And normally they said, oh no, I'll meet you there. They never meet you there. But now you say, okay, our Zoom thing is, do you need a reminder? And then you send them a reminder. Then you call them and then you beg them. No, you don't beg them. Okay, you never beg them. All right. Now, who do you know? Okay. I know you're involved in several activities. We're talking about outside types of interests, hobbies, and that type of thing. My group is polling people that are involved in the communities. May I ask you a few questions? Sure. How long have you been playing solitaire? Do you actively participate? Do you go to tournaments? If you could change one thing about the way you communicate or lead in this activity, solitaire. Okay, card games. Oh, pinochle. Oh my gosh, bridge. Oh, communicate and lead. Oh, yeah, probably. Okay. If you could change one thing about the way you communicate or lead in this activity, what would it be? So if you're talking to like a Boy Scout or a Girl Scout leader, or you're talking to somebody that likes to go to concerts, what happens if you want to set up a concert, if you want to sponsor a concert, if you want to organize a group that's going to take a bus to a concert, see how that works? And it can get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And suddenly you've got a concert promoter that's saying, oh, I'm sorry, I can't be there. I'm working with Bon Jovi on, of course, he's dead. Wait a minute. Think of somebody, Ben. I'm working with Beyonce next week. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to beg off. I know I was planning on being the grammarian, but anyway, Okay, so if you could change one thing about the way you communicate or lead in this activity, what would it be? And if there was a way you could improve that, what effect would it have? If I could introduce you to my group and they could show you a way to make these changes, is there any reason why you wouldn't at least check it out? Now, notice they all end up with that last one. If I could, would you? If I could, is there any reason why you wouldn't? And using those questions, then you are getting to the heart of the matter. If we could show you a way to get into a better place, why wouldn't you take advantage of it? This is not going to work 100% of the time. Can we agree on that? No. So I'm fine. If I hear that again, I'm going to just throw up. But when you look at some people, they are praying to meet somebody that will help them out with their one problem. And we are the best source of information when it comes to communication and leadership, because we give them the practice without the danger. We give them the step-by-step instructions. We don't give them tests. We make sure that it's a safe environment, that they get some good feedback that allows them to grow in a new area, but not, well, okay, now you didn't do the vocal variety was awful and your hand gestures were, yeah, and what kind of organization was that? I know it's your icebreaker. So with this, we're working at one step at a time, one incremental step at a time, and they can choose how fast they want to go and how far they want to go. How many DTMs do you want? They say, I don't know. What's a DTM? Is that a kind of cookie? See, no. How far do they want to go? And we provide everything that they need to move up one more level. We'll awaken some of their consciousness to the things that are around them and to look at things differently, so that when they're sitting there and they're listening to people on the radio and watching people on television or at a live venue, and they start counting ahs and ums, and you're thinking, ha, we got another one. Ha. Then what is the thing that is keeping them from coming in and learning all this stuff? So when we take a look at the stuff that we've done here, you can tell that we go a step beyond where most organizations go. And you know that because you're all in Toastmasters. And because you are, then you're able to apply these things in ways that help a whole lot more people. So do you have, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send this whole thing out, and the list is in no way, shape, or form exhaustive. Find out what everybody in your club is. Okay, so we have one guy who was a lieutenant colonel in the Army. Okay, and you say, who is the best general you know? Who is the best colonel you know? Who's the best leader in the Army or the Air Force or whatever? Then, okay, then we knew one guy who was a lawyer. Then we knew one guy who's a chemical engineer, and one guy who's in IT, and another one that's a musician, another one that's studying to be a welder. And let's see, what does Molly do? She's in IT, isn't she?
She works in fraud prevention.
Oh, fraud. That's right. She's in
for
fraud
the banks
prevention.
and the
That's very handy thing. Okay, so she is spending all of her time on the phone talking with people who have been either accused or calling in because they've been defrauded. So, that's got to be tough. And you use those in the occupation part, who are the best, blah, 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 And then when you talk about characters, then you take a look at the people in your group and you say, what is the one thing that describes Keith? He's funny. Well, he's calm.
He likes kites.
He makes kites. Yeah, he likes building
Builds
things,
kites.
right? Okay,
Unusual
right?
things.
Okay. What's the best thing about Marg? When you think of Marg, what's a one word that comes to mind, right? See, so those types of things that you use just looking at your group, and you design these questions, you let the group actually design the question. You say, okay, when you think of, so in your own group, like in NMC Voices for Change, who's the best nurse you know? Okay, who's the best nurse teacher you know? Well, Colleen. Why? Because that's what she does. Who's the best post person you know? That would have to be Anthony. So when you think of Anthony, what's the first thing you think of? Now, Mark is going to think of something completely different than me. Now, I'm going to think he likes Bach. And nobody knows that, right? Okay. Mark, what do you think of Anthony? What's the first thing when you think of Anthony?
He's always positive.
Always, he's got a smile on his face, even when it's under a mask.
Just lights up the room.
Yep. Yep. Just like his wife. It's just amazing.
Like
I never see Cynthia without a smile. Never. Never. Okay. All right. So you see what I mean? You find out. The only time I don't see Cynthia with a smile is when I'm looking at the palm of her hand. All right. Okay. But you go around and you say, what's the first thing that you think of when you think of blah, 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 blah. And you go around and ask your people that question. And I think, well, first of all, when they answer that question, the person that you're talking about gets a real boost. I mean, when you talk about who is the least shy person you know, Mark doesn't come up. He is not one of those people that could be considered outgoing. And yet he was a district director. How do you get to that point and be shy? Huh? Well, okay. See, so those types of things that you're asking your group, you're bringing an awareness to them about what kind of people they like to hang around. So when you do that, it connects in such a way that helps you determine what kind of people are more likely to come into the group. And where do you look for those people? Because you already know where they hang out. If most of the people that you hang out with are at church, well, by golly, ask them, because they're the kind of people that you like to be around. And they like to be around you. Hopefully, so I go to church because I cuss so much. Maybe not the best thing to do, right? But, I cuss a whole lot less when I'm in church. I don't, but you see what I mean? You're already in the groups of people that get along with you, know you, trust you, that type of thing. And yet we're afraid to ask them, hey, what? But when you have that opening, they were saying, who do you know that's in the church choir? And I said, oh, I know lots of people in the church choir. Oh, cool. And then you talk to the church choir members, what do you like best about being in the church choir? Oh, it's being able to blah, 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 blah. Okay. So now, if there was a way that we could improve the communications in the choir or the leadership in the choir, would you be interested in that? You know, if you're talking to the choir director, you say, oh yeah, I'd like some more leadership. How do we get more people into the choir? You know, we have a whole program about how to attract new people into groups. We call it Coach's Corner. Does it have to pertain to Toastmasters? No. All right, see how that works? Okay, now I've prattled along long enough, but I wanted to know, get some feedback from you. Was this a helpful exercise?
Yes, I would have
Absolutely.
to. Mhm. Yes.
What did you like about it?
Ooh, there's Amy.
It made me have to think really hard in regards to some of the people that I was going to write down.
Mm-hmm.
And not so much that it was the people, it was the specific portion. You know, lawyers was easy. I got 7 of them in my family.
Oh, I forgot. I know one of yours.
So, and then, excuse me, some of them were like, oh my goodness, you know, how long I've been out of school, you know, like, dang. So I started thinking about my grandbabies, and because my kids are older too, but I was, you know, was like, okay. And then trying to remember their names was one of the things. I know them by face, but some of their names was not popping up for me.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would just write school name and what they did.
Right. Okay, so now, does it make you curious enough to go find out what their names are?
Oh yeah, I wrote down who I can find that out.
There you go. All right. Okay.
Yeah, some of them were my own children, to be able to, like, you know who so and so used to be, you know, they used to coach you.
Yeah. There you go. Right, exactly. Okay. Okay, Marg, what do you think?
I like that I have this list of questions now. I took a copy of it so I'd have it. So
Yeah,
that
well,
it
I'm going to
really
send it
gives-
out. I'm going to send it out.
Okay, great. But it really gives me ideas of this is a conversation I can set up with people to get them interested instead of just saying, hey, you want to come to my Toastmasters?
Right.
Let's look at things that we could get them excited about so that they buy into the thought of this can really help them. So
Exactly.
I love those questions.
Yeah, and here's the thing. When you say, who are the best teachers you know, and your name came up top of my list, your name came up, then they say, oh, you know, I'm a teacher. You think I'm one of the best teachers? That's what does that do to them? That makes them feel good. Now, when you introduce them to the rest of the group, you say, oh, this is my friend Mary Ann, and she is one of the best teachers you will ever run up against. You know, and they will go, oh, ooh, and she's going to go, oh, oh, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Oh, this is the best coach I know. And he's going to go, and he flexes muscles. And you know how that does. But yeah, if they're coming into the group and they already have that support, people will come for the information, but they'll stay for the community. Right? Okay, Mary, did you find anything useful that you could?
Oh yes. It really made me question when you were talking about things like baseball and playing cards, because I was thinking, well, why would I think that they would be interested, I guess,
Right.
Toastmasters, and the line of questioning that the script that you put up there, and say, oh, okay, then that's how it comes together,
Right.
connect between them. So
Sometimes you have to kind of take a look at it and see how that, because sometimes it just doesn't make sense. You know, how good are you at the solitaire? Well, Solitaire is not something that you want to be really good at if you want to be in Toastmasters. I mean, no communication whatsoever. How good at you is Sudoku? I, but that means that they're good at solving puzzles. If they're good at solving puzzles, then they're good at paying attention to details. And if they're good at paying attention to details, then they're make really good evaluators and timers and grammarians and counters. They are good at listening. You know, all these skills that they already have. You say, how would you like to use those skills to the utmost and then learn some new skills that would double the amount of things that you can do, things that you always wanted to do but couldn't, you know, that type of thing. You have to tweak it sometimes. Okay. You know, who do you know that loves football? Okay. How long have you been involved in football? Are you a coach? All right. Do you actively participate? Do you play? You have kids in there? You sit on the side? Okay. All right. If you could change one thing about the way you communicate or lead in this activity, what would it be? Okay. So are you the one that's bringing snacks? Oh. Oh, see, are you the one that's helping to chaperone on the bus? Oh yeah, I'm a band mom. Ah, yeah, you know, I'm a football mom. Ah. Yes, we have jersey washing parties, you know, on Saturdays. Actually, we knew a group that did that. They had jersey washing parties, and they would have everybody would go and they'd use the industrial machines. They'd wash all the jerseys and get all the soaking and everything like that. And they do it all together. And they'd have a pizza party, and you know, it was mom day out, but they're washing jerseys, and so makes it less odious task. And so they couldn't imagine going a Saturday without having this thing. And so when football got over, they went through withdrawal. You know, okay, so if there was a way that you could improve that one thing, what effect would it have? See, all right, how do you fix a bus so that they don't drink in the back of the bus, or well, in the band things? You know what they did in the back of the bus for the band trips? They knitted. I kid you not. They were in the back knitting. They were $6 a skein yarn. I'm going, come on. That's not what you do in the back of the bus. Anyway, so that came as a surprise. If I could introduce you to my group and they could show you how to make these changes, is there any reason why you wouldn't at least want to check it out? And then you wait for an answer, and that's the hardest part about it. And 20% of the people that you talk to will say, yeah. 80% will say, we're fine. But they might know somebody. And that's the last question you ask. If they say, we're fine, or no, and you said, do you know anybody that might be able to use this kind of information? And then you get the name and they get the phone number. And then you call them. Hi, you don't know me. My name is Mary. And I heard from your friend Joanna that you are amazing at sewing, and you work on the flag costumes and all of that stuff for the band, and that just amazes me. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so how long have you been involved in that? And then you start the script. See, so okay, I will send this out to everybody, and we will send the recording out as well. And then that will help, hopefully, with your clubs, and make sure that they have a platform and a whole lot less fear when it comes to approaching people. Because a lot of times we shy people in Toastmasters, we don't know what to say first, or we're friends with you, but don't want to endanger our friendship because we asked you to come to a really fun thing. And I don't know why we think that, but that's one of the things we do. Yeah. Any final comments from anybody? Meaning of life, wise or rare? Okay, well, I will see you in a couple of weeks then.
Thank you.
Thank you.